here, and welcome to another episode of My 5 Favorite, the show where I talk about my 5 favorite movie-related things. I don't necessarily think they are the best things, but they are my favorite and they are subject to change on a weekly basis. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking all about my 5 favorite films from 1988. We are almost to the end of the My 5 Favorite 80s series. We've got this one and then just one more to go. What films are we going to talk about? Well, let's find out. Again, another very, very difficult year to narrow it down to 5 favorites and 6 honorable mentions. Yes, I picked 6 again because I couldn't choose between 2 movies. But without further ado, let's get into it. Number 5. Number 5 is a comedy classic. They just put out a sequel recently, which I haven't watched just because I didn't really care. The first one was good enough. I don't need to see a second one, especially one that's PG-13. I like my rated R 80s comedies. Yes, I'm talking all about Coming to America.
I want a woman that's going to arouse my intellect as well as my loins.
Where will you find such a woman?
In America.
Arguably one of Eddie Murphy's best performances. I also very much like Beverly Hills Cop. Another great comedy / action movie. This one's just straight comedy, a little bit of a love story, family drama, if you will. Tells the story of Akeem leaving the kingdom of Zamunda in Africa to find his queen in Queens, New York.
Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
This film is absolutely funny. Him and Arsenio Hall playing multiple characters. I think that this was the first time he did the multiple characters thing, which he would reprise later when he did The Nutty Professor and The Clumps, and then some other movies. But this film is such a classic. We have so many quotable moments in this movie. It is absolutely funny. You get so many cameos from other great comedians and other Eddie Murphy films.
Waterman, we're back.
You get the wonderful James Earl Jones.
What is this? McDowell's?
It's a place over on Queens Boulevard. I think he works there.
My son works.
And the scenes that Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall do in the barbershop are some of the funniest scenes ever.
Rocky Montana ain't shit!
He beat Joe Lewis's ass.
That's right, he did whoop Joe Lewis' ass. Joe Lewis was 75 years old when he fought. I don't know how old he was, but he got his ass whooped.
And it's a wonderful love story.
To be loved! To be loved! Whoa! What a feeling! To be...
And the music and the costumes are just incredible. So for those reasons and many more is why Coming to America is my number 5 favorite film from 1988. Number 4. Number 4 is a horror movie. It's one of my favorite movie monsters of all time, and it stars one of my favorite actors of all time. Yes, I'm talking all about Pumpkinhead.
I think it's here now.
I love Pumpkinhead. It's one of my favorite horror movies. One, because it's got an amazing creature design by Stan Winston. It stars Lance Henriksen, who is very good in just about anything he does. And it's a folk tale. It contains a lesson. And I love the old witch. Just the way she talks. She calls him Ed Harley.
It'll pass, Ed Harley.
Come on, Ed Harley.
You'll fail, Ed Harley. You'll fail and you'll die, too.
It's very much in the same vein of, like, Pet Sematary. They've got some similar themes going on there. But it's shot very creepily because you don't see the full monster really until the end. It's just this being, this force that's coming after you and is not going to stop. It will get its revenge. And I like that the Pumpkinhead creature is is symbiotically tied to Lance Henriksen. And it's fun to watch a giant monster chase a bunch of stupid teenagers around the woods. So for those reasons and many, many more is why Pumpkinhead is my number 4 favorite film from 1988. Number 3. Number 3 is one of my favorite films of all time. It just makes you feel good, like you just wrapped a warm blanket around yourself and you can just tuck in and watch it and your mood is instantly lifted. And before Peter Jackson's films came out, it was the closest thing we were gonna get to Lord of the Rings on film. Yes, I am talking all about Ron Howard's Willow. We've got action, we've got adventure, we've got fantasy, we've got magic, we've got romance, we've got everything.
You're no woman.
Now, honey.
Not a woman!
Easy.
Gentlemen, not a woman! Meat lug.
We've got one of the best performances by a baby in all of cinema. That's what the people who made that stupid CGI baby for the Twilight movie should have done. They should have got this baby. I guess it's a grown person by now, but... Val Kilmer is absolutely brilliant in this movie. We get Warwick Davis. George Lucas cast him as, what's the fuck is the name of that Ewok that he played? He was the Ewok in Return of the Jedi, and George Lucas saw something in Warwick Davis. He's like, I gotta create a vehicle for this kid, and he did, and that vehicle was Willow. Some of my favorite scenes are the wagon chase through the woods. That's always a great scene. Anything with the brownies.
Don't I know you? I stole the baby from you, Daikini, while you were taking a pee-pee!
And then the witches duel at the end where you have two old ladies, two grandmas just punching each other in the face over a wand. This is a very high fantasy film, and I love the creatures that they created because they're not stereotypical fantasy creatures. They're weird, warped version. Like the trolls in this movie are just disgusting and ugly, and they poop everywhere. And then a dragon, a two-headed dragon emerges, and it's not a dragon that how you would picture a dragon. If someone says, picture a two-headed dragon, you're not gonna think of this thing. There's so many neat little touches and little details that I absolutely love, like the little acorns that you throw at people and turn them into stone. His little disappearing pig trick comes back to save the day. And the fact that this is kind of just a ripoff of The Lord of the Rings. There's so many comparisons. The baby is the ring, Bamorda is Sauron, General Kale is the Nazgul, Sherlindria is Galadriel, and Razel is Gandalf. Willow is, of course, Frodo. Migash is Sam. I could probably do a video just on the comparisons between Willow and The Lord of the Rings, but I'm not going to go into that now, because I still really, really love Willow.
Her name is not Styx. She's a Laura Dannon, the future Empress of Tyr's Lee. And the last thing she's gonna want is a hairy chest.
But for all those reasons and many, many more is why Willow is my number 3 favorite film of 1988. Number 2. Number 2 is one of my favorite Jean-Claude Van Damme movies of all time. It's probably his best film, and the one that he's most known for from his early career. Yes, I'm talking all about Bloodsport. Bloodsport is great. There's so many montages, and they're all spectacular.
On my own, on my own.
But Bloodsport tells the story of Frank Dukes, or Dux, as they sometimes call him in this movie, and he's traveling to Hong Kong to fight in a no-holds-barred secret tournament called the Kumite, and it brings in fighters from all over the world. He pairs up with Donald Gibb, who is the other American fighter.
What the hell is a Dumac?
But you get so many different fight scenes, just clips. The fight montages in this movie are incredible because you get to see a ton of different styles, ton of different fighters. It's easily his best martial arts film. And of course you've got the two American government officials trying to chase him down because Frank Dukes is such an asset to the American government that they can't even for a second chance him being hurt in this tournament because they need him so desperately. And one of those guys is Forrest Whitaker. It's nice to see him in some of these smaller roles earlier in his career.
The government has invested a lot of time and money in you. Uncle Sam can't afford to let you get hurt.
I won't get hurt.
That's why we're here, to make sure of that.
A couple of my favorite scenes, there's the one where he does the Dimac or the death touch on the bricks.
Whoa, yeah!
And then you got Bolo Young over there. He's like, brick, don't hit back.
Very good. But brick, not hit back.
He is terrifying in this film. He does such a good job of playing a bad guy. And then when he's in the bar in the restaurant with the reporter lady and Hassan is there and he does the coin trick. You lose, American asshole. I love that scene.
Go. Ha! You lose, American asshole.
So for those reasons and many, many more is why Bloodsport is my number 2 favorite film from 1988. Number 1. Number 1 probably isn't going to come as a shock to anyone. It's highly regarded as the best action film of all time. It birthed Bruce Willis's career as an action star, and it cemented Alan Rickman as one of the greatest villains ever. Yes, I'm talking all about Die Hard.
You are most troublesome for a security guard.
Sorry, Hans, wrong guess. Would you like to go for double jeopardy where the scores can really change?
Die Hard is the fucking best. It's so much fun to watch. I never get tired of it. It's endlessly quotable. It's written so well. It's directed so well. There is no fat on this film at all. And it spawned so many copycats. We still get copycats to this day because they formed the mold of this type of movie, and people have just been replicating it ever since. Where this movie really succeeds is 1, John McTiernan. He knows how to direct a fucking action movie. He is so good at it. 2, Bruce Willis and his character, the character of John McClane, because he's just a guy. He's not a superhero. He's not a big muscly dude. He's not what he became in the later movies where he's just you can't touch him. He's impervious. He's invulnerable. He gets fucked up in this film. His feet are all cut up. He's banged up. He's bruised up. He's bleeding. He's tired. He's frustrated. He's pissed off.
Quit being part of the fucking problem and put the other guy back on.
Hey, Roy, how you feeling?
Pretty fucking unappreciated, Al.
He does what he can with what he has. He's making it up as he goes along. He's improvising. Things change and he adapts to those situations. And he does it as a normal guy. Then we get to the villains. Each one of them is different. Yeah, there's some that are kind of faceless and in the background. But you get they're all different. They're all dynamic. They all have their own little quirk, their little thing. And you have Alan Rickman. arguably one of the greatest villain performances of all time. He's so even-handed, he's cool, he's calm, he knows what he's doing, things are going according to plan, he's sticking to the plan.
All of you relax. This is a matter of inconvenient timing, that's all. Police action was inevitable. And as it happens, necessary.
Then you have Reginald VelJohnson as the officer that Bruce Willis is talking to on the outside, and it's such a clever way to get so much exposition and things explained to the audience.
Don McClane, you still with us?
Yeah. But all things being equal, I'd rather be in Philadelphia. Chalk up 2 more bad guys.
You're getting so much information in those conversations without even knowing it, because it sounds like a real conversation between 2 real people. It's very smartly done. And I could go on and on talking about Die Hard because there's a lot to talk about with it. But a lot of it has already been said. So that's about as far into it as I'm gonna get. But for those reasons and many, many more that I could talk about for hours are why Die Hard is my #1 favorite film from 1988.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Now is the time where we talk about our honorable mentions, but first, these messages.
Cheeks. Cheeks. Cheeks, the Ladies Club, 20,001 North Cave Creek. Cheeks.
Friday, Lee Majors and Lindsay Wagner are back by popular demand, joined by a son with a blinding force, the return of the $6 million man and the bionic woman. Then,
There was a skin flick with a fake murder.
A real murder.
The movie is just an illusion.
You think violence is artistic?
We have nothing.
Look at her eyes. They're dead.
Miami Vice, Friday.
Honorable mentions. First up, Beetlejuice.
Oh, I know you're asking me. Can it be scary? What do you think of this? You like it?
Nice fucking model. A Fish Called Wanda. If you have not watched A Fish Called Wanda, shut this video off right now and go watch it. One of the funniest movies ever.
You don't like winners.
Winners?
Yeah. Winners.
Winners like North Vietnam?
Shut up! We did not lose Vietnam. It was a tie.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Hey, and a haircut.
Groundbreaking in technology. We get Bob Haskins. We get Kathleen Turner's voice.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
A noir with cartoons. Where can you go wrong?
She's married to Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. What a lucky girl.
They Live.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
John Carpenter, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Keith David, awesome concept, and a kick-ass fight scene. Big Business, another comedy that not a lot of people have seen. Bette Midler, Lily Tomlin playing twins. Twins that are switched at birth. Kind of. A couple of them are switched, but not all of them. Very, very funny movie. If you haven't seen it, go check that one out as well.
God, it's me with a bad haircut. Bad. I paid $12 for this. I am going to kick your ass.
And last but not least, The Land Before Time. I grew up a dinosaur nerd, so this movie was on repeat at my house. I'm pretty sure I wore out about 2 VHS copies of this film as a kid. It still makes me cry when Littlefoot's mother died. I don't even want to get into it.
Littlefoot. Mother!
down below if you are responsible for so many tears in my childhood, but I still love you. Well, that is gonna do it for my 5 favorite films from 1988. We got one more year to go, and then we're diving right into the 90s, so stay tuned for that, because I've got a lot of films that not a lot of people have heard of that I really, really want to talk about and share with you guys. So stay tuned for that. If you have a favorite film, or 5 or 10 or 20 or however many favorite films from 1988, please put it below in the comments. I would love to hear what they are. But that is going to do it for this little video. So until next time, this is Lindsay signing off. I'll check you later.